2014 Cheltenham Festival to go. Here they come. Let's join Richard.
And they're off and racing for the last race of Cheltenham 2014, the Johnny Henderson Grand Annual. And Astracad leads them towards the first. Shooters Wood and Next Sensation are all prominent as they fan out. French Opera races in a handy position as they take the first. Drum Shambo pecked badly towards the outside, and Passage Vendôme was the one that fell towards the rear. So Next Sensation at a good pace leads, changing the guard towards the second. Changing the guard, ploughed through it. There's a really bad mistake by Rhea Star, who was back in the midfield. Good recovery by Robert Thornton, who was right at the buckle end, and the pace is strong early on. Next Sensation down the centre with changing the guard. The far side, Astracad, Anqueta and Shooters Wood are the first five as they reach fence number 3. French Opera took it in 6th place. Lancetto didn't take it too well, but he's over in about 8th or 9th. Thanks for that. Races midfield early on with Oiseau de Nuit, as Next Sensation is already over the next. He's going as fast as Oscar Hill in the early stages here. At the back of the field, we still have Lucky Landing. Also well back is Viva Colonia. So Next Sensation turns away, leading by a good 10 lengths or so. Anqueta and changing the guard disputes second place. Astracad races in 4th. Shooters Wood on the inside of French Opera, then Oiseau de Nuit with 2 lengths to Lancetto and Eastlake. Dare Me in midfield with Tanks for That, and also Savello as they string out. His Excellency and Rhea Star come next ahead of Mr. Mole, ridden patiently with Claret, Cloak and Easter Meteor, as the leader is already at the next. And over clear, Astracad made a really bad mistake, but his rider sat tight. Back in the field, Rhea Star having survived that earlier blunder. Unfortunately for Robert Thornton, he couldn't survive a worse one 3 fences later. Over in front, Next Sensation leads Anqueta over the water jump. Once again, the field stream over it. Lucky Landing and Viva Colonia held up with Easter Meteor as the leader is already on towards another open ditch. Next Sensation clear from Anqueta over in 2nd. Changing the guard is over in 3rd place. Once again, the stragglers all over. Easter Meteor is well back at this stage, and also well back at this stage is Competitive Edge. So Next Sensation over the next ahead of Anqueta in 2nd place. Again, the whole field stream over it. Several of these are a long way behind the leader, who turns at the far end. Next Sensation 15 lengths clear. So Next Sensation flies the next fence, the ditch, ahead of Anqueta in 2nd place. Oiseau de Nuit with changing the guard, and Shooters Wood racing in 4th and 5th places. French Opera not too far away. Behind these, Astracad, Tanks for That, Claret, Cloak trying to get a bit closer, as out in front Next Sensation reaches the next fence, is still clear. Anqueta still shows in 2nd place. Oiseau de Nuit has made good ground as the leader begins to turn downhill. It's Next Sensation who still has a big advantage here. Anqueta shows in 2nd place. Oiseau de Nuit and Shooters Wood are the next two racing in 3rd and 4th places, as Next Sensation reaches the next fence, not quite so far clear as he was. Savello made a mistake going down there, was Competitive Edge. Competitive Edge was the faller. So Next Sensation it is who leads. Anqueta in 2nd, Shooters Wood racing in 3rd. Oiseau de Nuit with French Opera, Tanks for That, Claret, Cloak and Savello are both improving. Behind these we have the white face of His Excellency trying to work into it as well as they step over the next fence. Changing the guard has lost his place as the leaders make their journey back towards home. Mr. Mole is another who's gradually creeping closer into midfield. Next Sensation's rider takes a look on the run to the second last to see the pack looming in. Claret, Cloak is the first one to come out of it with Anqueta. French Opera comes next. Behind these, Savello, then pushed along is Eastlake. They race down towards the second last. Claret, Cloak moving with Next Sensation. Coming home pretty strongly is Ned Buntline into about 3rd. Claret, Cloak makes a bad mistake at the second last. Oiseau de Nuit is a faller and still out in front. Next Sensation leads. Claret, Cloak trying to regather the momentum. Then Savello still staying on his Ned Buntline. Next Sensation's over the last. Claret, Cloak is trying to rally up the hill with Savello and Ned Buntline up the hill for home. Next Sensation, Savello pierces the gap and goes to the front. Another for Jigginstown. What a day! The last goes to Savello. Davy Russell again. The duo dominant on the day. Ned Buntline 2nd, Claret, Cloak, that mistake costly. Next Sensation finished in 4th place. French Opera was next, and Mr. Mole came down in the closing stages.
An unforgettable day for Davy Russell, an unforgettable day for Michael O'Leary. The 16-1 chance Savello backed on course from 33-1 wins the Johnny Henderson Grand Annual in a dramatic finish with Ned Buntline finishing 2nd, then Claret, Cloak and Next Sensation, who set the race alight from an early stage, was miles clear at the top of the hill, looked a sitting duck at the second last and rallied oh so tenaciously. But when the luck's with you, the luck's with you. And the luck today, Jonathan, has certainly been with Davy Russell.
Yeah, I mean, he was back. I assume that might have been rolling up money from connections or people backing the colours, but he's only run one decent race in 4 attempts this season. That's a sort of proper festival handicap winner, isn't it? The 2 wins last season came the first 2 occasions he had a hood on, but I mean, this is clearly a lifetime best.
And that's a celebration we've got used to seeing